Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. Thank you for all the support we got on the first video. It means a lot to us. Today we are going to be, dude, 5 seconds in, you're already laughing. Hayden, I'm gonna need some more expression out of you.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I was just kind of tapped out for a second,
No, that's
but
good,
I'm
man.
back.
Anyways, for today's
Yo, what are
video,
we doing?
we are going to be ranking Office characters on this tier list sort of thing. Obviously, the top category is better than the bottom, if you couldn't tell by the name. Um, yeah, we have
Like it, love it,
about
gotta have it.
yeah.
Can you go over the categories, Kelp?
Yeah,
Okay,
I need a
so
refresher.
gotta have it. Obviously, the top of the top, best of the best. Can't get any better than
yep,
that, right?
absolutely.
Love it. Just a little below, just a little below, like almost there. You got a few things you're missing, but almost there.
I love
Like
it.
it, is like they made the show good, they made it funny, but were they like the best of the best? Not really. Take it or
I
leave it
like it.
is like I don't really have an opinion on these people. And then don't want it
Take it or
is
leave it.
bottom of the barrel.
We don't
Worst of
want
the
that shit.
worst. Yeah.
Nope.
Get that shit out of here. Those
Always
might
Right.
be.
first things first. Andy Bernard. Is he is
Whoa.
he is he a viable character in The Office?
Is he viable?
Is he
He's
Yes.
viable?
viable. He's more than viable.
He's viable. He
Is
does his job. Do I like him very much? Especially early on when he's in the show.
Seasons 3 through 4, dude, I think he's an all right character. Is he a little bit annoying? Yes. After that, with the weird story arc with Aaron where he becomes the boss, the Michael Scott replacement doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
I
that
would
goes off
I
the
would put
rails.
him I would put him in the like it category. Maybe even take it or leave it.
I could see
Maybe even
take
take
it.
it. I'm gonna go
Whoa.
there.
I could do take it or leave it as well. I wasn't like a huge fan of
He
Andy
doesn't carry the
Bernard.
show. He sings a nice song at the end in the finale. You
Yeah,
give him
dude.
that. It sparked his career.
Did it? Did it though?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
landed freaking We're the Millers. He was in
Was
some
that
other
the
couple
Oh,
things.
I
Hangover
thought you
after
meant
that?
yeah.
He was in The
Never forgot.
Hangover. You know,
I think
he's doing well for
I
himself.
think he's a very good complementary character. Like there's when a lot of the main plot things that are happening, he complements those scenes very well with his singing or just whatever. It's like
I agree. And he
I
is okay. They do play that trope very well of like the annoying guy who like went to a pretentious school and like sang a cappella in college.
yes.
Like very like they really do hit that to a T. It's just when the story arc starts to unravel, it doesn't ruin Andy Bernard for me. But in season 9, he's a completely different guy than he is in season 3, where he's just, working at a paper company playing Call of Duty with Jim.
Well,
Completely
and
different.
I think we could. There was a lot of issues with the last seasons of The Office where a lot of the characters were changing. So I think it does take his rating down a little bit, but I don't think I'm gonna like kill him for it when they transformed a lot of the characters. But so
Right.
I think like it is appropriate.
Yeah,
Hayden,
what do you do? What's your consensus?
I really I would prefer take it or leave it, but I mean I could see like it as well. I don't think he's a trash character. Like I don't think he belongs in the bottom of the barrel or anything. But it's kind of
Yeah, and I think
annoying.
there's room for other characters to be take it or leave it. So I think putting him in the like it category
All
is
right,
would be the move.
Andrew Bernard going in the like it category.
Bernard dog.
Bernard dog,
Nard
dude.
dog.
All right, next we got Angela Martin. I think Angela's actually pretty funny at some points in this show. Like I don't mind her character at all.
No,
I
I think she plays her
agree.
character very well, which I think we're gonna come across this a lot where I think everyone plays their character like damn near to perfection. It's just
Yeah.
how does it all fit and feel with the rest of the cast?
And I think working in a Scranton paper company, like having kind of, the judgmental, coworker, I think there is some relatability there. I would put her in the love it category. I think
I
how
agree
she
with that.
like I don't love her character, but how she services the show, I think she does excellent with it, and the writing is very good. And I do appreciate the season 9, the full circle love romance with Dwight. In earlier seasons, they play on that trope, and they have like the baby deal, and like is it hers, is it not hers, and then she has the gay husband. It gets a little bit messy, but is it fun the whole time? Yes, I would put her in the love it category.
Ryan, what category are you feeling for Miss Angela Martin?
Yeah, I think somewhere in between like it and love it for me. I'd probably like to see how the rest of the characters end up shaping out in our ranking for like to see, you know, where exactly I'd put her. But I'm okay with love it.
Yeah, I think I'm good with Love It too. She's a good character. Okay,
It's beautiful.
fucking Clark,
It's Clark. It's
Dwight
Clark.
Jr., Dwight
Clark.
Jr.
Clark.
Thought
Clark.
this guy is take it or leave it for me. He didn't really need to be in the show, in my
Take it or
opinion.
leave it, Cal. Take it or leave it. If there
Dude,
was a Street
we
Farm
got a big
spinoff,
Clark fan over here.
he would be in it. He would be in it, Kelp. Yeah, now he's only in one season of the show. Doesn't play a huge role, but the scenes that he's in season 9 are quality ones. You can't deny that. He's got they have this running gag where he's like Dwight's son, and like Dwight tries to like train him to be a salesman. I love that bit. They go on like a sales call together, and they run like a father and son like paper company kind of vibe, and they like have this bonding moment. That's funny to me. Beyond that, he doesn't really do anything else besides being Pete's friend. He's just kind of there. Probably in between take it or leave it and like it, just because of runtime. He's only in season 9.
Yeah, I'd probably put him right in between take it or leave it and like it too. He definitely has his moments, but it's not like some character that I felt added a ton to the show. Obviously, and he didn't have a huge role or anything, but
He's a funny looking guy though.
he is, and
He makes me giggle.
they do play off that, and yeah, he does have some funny lines. So that's why I'm like tempted to put him in the like it. So I'm in between.
I
That's the
just
thing. Like, is he as good as Andy Bernard though? That's the thing. It's like,
Okay, no,
is
he's not. But so
exactly by
we can
that
rank them
logic.
within the tiers too, though. So like
Absolutely,
maybe
absolutely.
Andy Bernard ends up being like top tier like it, and Clark is bottom tier like it.
well,
So who
here's the
knows?
thing,
But
dude. Like, can you really put Clark like above some of these other characters on the show? Like, did he
Oh
that's
really
no.
yet
do it?
that's yet to be seen.
Yeah, I think you can.
I don't know
I
about
think
it.
you can.
I don't know about it.
I see one character in this tier list that I would put and don't want it.
I agree. I feel like
And
we're talking
we
about
can
the
get
same
there.
person.
And we can get
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe what are we feeling? Take it or leave it for now. I feel like Kelp's rating definitely. If we're both borderline, Kelp pulls us
Kelp
down to
drags
take
us
her.
down. Maybe
Yeah.
he's at the top of take it or leave it by the time
Yeah,
this
and
is
we,
said
we
and
can
done.
we can re-rank them within the tiers if we want to once we get them into place. If we want to do that.
Absolutely.
All right, Creed Bratton. Um,
Oh,
dude,
Kelp, you want to take
this
this
guy's
one?
hilarious, man. I love Creed. I think he's fucking funny. I really do. I
Dude,
like his character.
Creed, bro, is the best. And I think he was a writer on the show as well, or some kind of producer. He's in the background at the same time. But he is like the best, like one joke in the episode. Like he has like
Yes.
5 seconds in the episode to have one joke.
Yeah.
He is the best guy for that. I would put it. It's like close to gotta have it, but he's not like a Michael Scott, a Jim, or a Dwight to me in my head. So I would put him in the love it category, just because he just hits every time.
I do. Yeah, Creed's one-liners just hit diffy sometimes, man. I'm a
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
big
he
Creed
look at
actually
him,
fan.
has
bro. He's
a lot of
devious,
the.
dude. Look at him standing. Look at him sitting there.
I think he does have a lot of the best jokes in the show, but you just don't see a ton of him. But I think that honestly helps his character. The fact that you only see him once or twice per episode, and it's just like perfect every time. It just whatever he says, it just is gold. Yeah, so he's. I'd probably put love it for now because
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree.
it's hard to put him in gotta have it when you just don't get enough. And I don't know if we did see a ton more Creed, would he have the same effect? Is the question. Like
Exactly.
a
It's
character
almost
like
like
Michael takes
moderation.
right. I don't know if his character would work if you have like 15 minutes of Creed, like like Michael. So that's where I'm like, love it. But I think
I agree with
maybe
Love
above Angela.
Yeah,
It.
absolutely. I would.
Are we
I
ranking
would.
them? We're ranking them in each category. Oh, this is gonna be a beefy one. Switch.
It's gonna be beefy.
There we go.
Gonna be yeah. You gotta you got to
Speaking of beefy, we have Daryl Philbin, rather large man.
Daryl.
Love it. I wouldn't know. No, not love it category. Just
Nah.
the guy. Dude, he's an ISU alum, bro. Did you know that?
Craig
Is he
Robinson
really?
is?
He graduated from ISU, dude.
No way,
Yeah, bro. Look that shit up.
dude. I gotta
Look that shit.
I gotta fact check you.
Dude, I don't know.
He did.
Daryl as a character.
He went to another university too, apparently.
Oh, he's not a
Daryl's
through and through Redbird.
Daryl's like kind of funny sometimes, but I don't know if he adds enough to the show for me to put him in love it. You know?
Right.
I do like Daryl because he is one of the more grounded people on the show, and he's just like when people say stuff to him, he's just like kidding me. Like he just has that look on his face, and
Yeah.
so he has a lot different feel than everyone else.
And there's almost like two different Daryls, right? There's the
Yeah.
Daryl, like there's the early Daryl where he's in the warehouse and he's just the guy flipping out at Michael for like destroying the warehouse.
Yeah.
And messing with Michael and like
Mm.
teaching him slang that isn't real. And then there's the Daryl that gets promoted after Michael leaves and he's just like a nice guy. And I think the Daryl before he gets promoted is a little bit better. And it's one of those, Creed Bratton syndrome type things where, in small doses, he's almost more effective and a better character just because he's funnier.
Yeah.
So I would say love it / like it. Just for combine, I would put him in the love it category for the early, the early Philbin, but the like it category for the late Philbin.
Where does
I
that put him overall?
I just like here. I would prefer like. There's nothing wrong with Daryl's character. It's just like I don't know if we get enough of Daryl like put him in the love it, and it's not like he's like crazy funny or anything. He's just kind of like there. He's
He's
like
just kind of there.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll go like it.
I'll go like it as well. Yeah.
Above or below Andy Bernard?
I think below for me.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
David Wallace. Look at that picture. Dude.
David Wallace. I'm a big David Wallace guy.
Dude, I love David Wallace.
David Wallace, dude.
He's a different
I
breed,
would,
though.
I would put him in. Well, okay. You have to consider, he's the corporate bigwig, and seeing him come into the office when all hell's breaking loose is hilarious.
Yeah, but
And
here,
then he invents suck it.
Yeah, dude, that's
then-
exactly what I was gonna talk about. I've never seen a man down bad like that in my entire life, dude. The guy just seemed like a crazy person.
And the military bought it, right? That's what happened. So like
Yeah,
he invents suck
Oh,
it, which
a
is like a
$20
vacuum
million
company.
a $20 million patent for a vacuum that picks up children's toys. It's like, dude.
In the scenes where like after the fire and everything, where they call Michael and Dwight down to like corporate in the office. I mean that he's great there.
Great, yeah. That is, and he's just dumbfounded.
Yeah, like
Just
he's speechless. Like he doesn't know what to say.
Did you
and I think
have to correct
contrasting
me?
like, oh sorry, Kel.
No, go ahead.
I think contrasting like the corporate policy like that we're all accustomed to with Michael Scott's mayhem, it's like perfect. Like, and he plays his role to a T. And I think there's other characters that do similar things. Jan, for example, early on before, she goes off the rails. So I would put him in the like it category.
Oh, I
Probably. What do you think, Kel?
I would say love it, dude. David Wallace is a great character.
Wow.
Would you put him below Angela?
No, above.
Oh wow.
I would not put him above Angela. Just because of sheer runtime. He's not in the office very much. He's in probably 3 or 4 episodes every season.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just find him really comical every time he's on the screen. Well,
He is great. He is, dude. Yeah, he is okay. I would put him below. I would put him in between Andy and Daryl. That's where Ryan. What's yours?
That was like my initial thought was in between Andy and Daryl. it's tough because I think he does play his role very, very well. And it's just tough with these characters that you don't get to see as much of, to really compare them against the other characters that have a ton of runtime.
Yeah.
It's I feel like I'm much closer to like it than love it for him, but it's one of those where it's like really close and I'm in between.
I guess that weighs
Should
it
we
down to like it then,
should we
doesn't
put
it?
him above Andy then to average it
I think that's astute.
in the like it category?
Yeah, that's fine. I can get by that.
Helps behind that.
Yeah,
Dude,
Kelp
Dwight Schrute,
boosted him up.
is there even like an argument? Like, is that even
Yeah,
is that even a
yeah,
question?
that's
Like,
enough said. Dwight Schrute gotta have it. I
Yeah.
think comedically carries the show.
he really
They
does.
were about to have he was about to have his own spin-off. I think there were two characters in this tier list where I think this show shows off the role that they were born to play. And I think Rainn Wilson as Dwight Schrute is like he was born to, like that's probably the greatest thing that he's ever going to be in. Which isn't like sad. I think it's just like he was born to be Dwight Schrute and play this oddball character. And he's just so good at not breaking.
Yeah, I
Gotta
can get
have it.
behind that. Yeah, I don't think it's a question. He's got to have it.
Yeah, that. What else needs to be? Guys like my favorite character on the show, so I
Yeah.
agree with you boys. All right, moving on then. Aaron Hannon.
Aaron Hannon, take it or leave it, dude. Strong take it or leave it.
Oh,
Below, I would put her below Clark, dude. I would put her below Clark.
dude, why? She was funny.
Dang.
She was funny.
She's funny, but is she above Clark, dude? In my mind, no.
Dude,
He's a
Clark,
big
Take it or
Clark
leave
guy.
it.
He's a
Clark's
big
a
Clark guy.
dude.
The
Clark
show
doesn't
would
do
still be funny
anything.
without her. Dude, Clark, bro,
The
carries
show was
season
funny
9,
without
bro.
Clark.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, season 8 is the worst season of The Office.
Okay,
man.
well,
And that's the season that they have the most Aaron storylines and the most freaking Andy Bernard
season
storylines.
8 was not Aaron's fault. There was
I
many
agree.
things wrong. So
It's not Aaron's fault for sure. They
she
just
is
put they
above
put
she
the
is above
spotlight on.
Clark. Come on
Wait,
now.
I would put her in the love it
settle for that.
category, man.
Wow.
Oh,
She's
my.
hilarious. Like, I'm sorry, she is.
You think she's as funny as Creed?
No, but that's not like the same thing.
You're right. They're different characters and they serve different roles. But to me, Creed is a god,
Well, I'm
and
not saying she's
Aaron's just
above
kind of
Creed.
a side character. She's like a side quest in
Well, Creed spends the
freaking
least time on the
Valhalla, dude.
show.
Like, give me a story mission.
Creed spends the least time on the show out of anybody, and he's in love it. So I don't think her runtime is like something that we could like consider. I think she's hilarious, and she like really propels Andy's character development, and you see a lot of her own personal growth too. Which
Though
is like,
that character development goes nowhere except for literally like Plop fucking coming in there and just stealing
yeah,
Aaron from Andy, and
but
then Andy's bummed out for a while,
is
and
that
then it goes nowhere.
is that Aaron's fault though that it went nowhere? Absolutely
Is
not.
it her? It's not the actress's fault, but it's Aaron's fault because she's a crappy character that I don't care about. Like, why
Well,
are you
I
spending the
think
whole season developing her character from front to back when it goes nowhere?
well, I think that's a writing problem. I think you can still appreciate the actual growth of the character, even though there's no payoff or reason behind it. It's not as impactful as the growth of another character that there actually makes sense to it, and they're building to something, but it's still worth something. But
Well, there's
she
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
There's no, keep going. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, she has some qualities of Cam from Good Luck Chuck to me, and I think she does it well. Like she just like, botches everything. She's just confused, and I think she does it really well.
Okay, I agree with you. The actual character, she does it well. But you have to consider the storyline and what the story arc exists within the show. And in season 8, which she has the most, like the spotlight is on her, the spotlight is on Andy. And I think she was introduced in season 6, but she's not full on Aaron yet. She's just the temp girl, right? You don't really see Aaron until like season 7, season 8, season 9. And season 8, there's the most emphasis on her. And season 8 was an absolute mess. They introduce because they don't know what to do after Michael leaves, and that's fine. But they put the spotlight on Aaron. They have even Jim and Pam, like some of the best, like the rock of the show, the relationship of the show. They go on this weird route where there's this other girl interested in Jim, and then Jim's like he's like hanging out with her in the hotel room, and then like the camera guys are trying to expose it. And it's interesting and it keeps me on the edge of my seat, but it goes nowhere. I think Kathy, and then Kathy just leaves. And the similar feeling leaves me with the Aaron and Andy storyline. And that's why it's take it or leave it for me because before that, I think she's funny. I think she has some good lines. Her and Michael have a great dynamic. I think it's really funny and it like brightens the show up. It's refreshing. And season 9, seeing her parents, like her reacting to her parents and meeting them for the first time, that was a heartwarming moment. And we're given that from Aaron's character. But it's weighed down by all this debauchery. I would put her above Clark though. I was exaggerating.
At least we can all agree on that.
Dude, yeah, she's definitely above Clark. I think she deserves to be in the Leica category. I think she was hilarious in the show. I think she did her. I think she was funny. She carried her weight.
I'll settle for that.
Yeah, I don't think I can put her down to take it or leave it just because of like her plot not really going anywhere when they botched quite a few characters by the end of the show. So
That's
it's like
fair.
so I'm not gonna kill her for that. I think when Aaron was just more of a supplemental character, it was like she did exactly what she needed to do.
So am I putting her after Daryl or before Daryl?
That's a good question.
I think I like Daryl more, but that's just me. You guys can debate amongst.
What do you think in Kelp?
I'd
Dude,
be
I
comfortable,
like
like
Aaron. I
honest
think I would put
opinion,
her.
putting in like a category below Daryl. Like I can sit well with that. But if you guys think she's better than Daryl, fine by me.
I think she's better than Daryl. I'll just say it.
Well, Kelp,
I
you
think
would put her in the lover category.
dude, she's
Kelp,
hilarious.
Kelp's gotta have it. I'm not gonna lie.
No, no, no,
Like,
no, 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 not gotta
be
have
honest,
it.
Dwight
Kelp. Just
above
admit it.
Dwight.
This is some
No,
Toby Maguire, stuff that you
Yeah.
just gotta let it out.
no, no,
Yeah.
that's you're. It's not Toby Maguire. It's Andrew Garfield.
No, these are your feelings for all 3 of the Spider-Man. You gotta we all know your feelings for Andrew Garfield, but your true feelings for Toby Maguire and Tom Holland. Come on now, you gotta let them out. You gotta
You
let out your
despise him,
feelings for
Kelp.
Aaron. You gotta have it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
No, see, here's okay. We can go back and forth on this all day, every day, and I'll stand by my ground. No problem with Toby Maguire. Tom Holland, don't want it, don't need it, don't want to watch it. End of story.
Yikes.
Well,
All right.
Kelp, see, we're in an interesting predicament here. Okay, put yourself in my shoes for a couple seconds. David Wallace is about to be above Andy and Aaron and Daryl. Which he's a good character, but would you really put him above Aaron? I think
Wait,
we got to restart.
Wait, I
wait,
thought.
wait,
Wait,
wait. You
what?
think
You
you
just
think
said
Aaron?
Aaron was worse than Clark, and now you're saying she's better than David Wallace.
It's more of like a time loop situation, like
I think Hayden needs to dig deep and
All
find
right, you
his
know
true
what? I'll
feelings
bite the
for her.
bullet,
Or
man. I don't care.
is this like a rock paper scissors where like Aaron is better than David Wallace, but not better than Clark, who is not as
yes,
good as David Wallace? So you don't know how to rank any of
Is
them.
this placing fine
one
for
beats the
everybody?
other, and the other.
Okay, you know
Just
what?
stay on
We're good with that.
Oh,
Kel,
Kelp. Oh,
Kel,
snap.
come win.
Kelp, you had one job,
That just
dude.
can't.
Dude, what
You're a
just
man in the
happened,
chair,
man?
Dude,
Kelp.
that can't happen.
Oh,
Look
okay,
at
we're good.
Yeah.
this. You
Dude,
botched it.
that's unprofessional. I apologize. I don't know what just happened.
We
Hey,
gotta
you got it right
restart.
back. We bounced back.
You know,
Unreal.
moving right along. We have Holly Flex, Holly Scott, Holly DJ, Holly Flex, all of the above.
Kelp, you want to take this one?
No, I don't want to start. Somebody else start.
I just want to get a scouting report before I decimate you, Kelp.
Dude,
I would love to see that as well. So
come on, man. I don't want to start.
All right,
No,
I'll
just take it.
start. I'll
Okay.
start.
Good. Now
I'll
I can rip
start,
into
all right?
you.
All right. You might agree with me. Who knows? So, Holly, she's only in a few seasons of the show. Her and Michael have this, will they, won't they? She's with another guy. It's interesting. It's good. Michael's kind of a hopeless romantic at this point. And then she's kind of up the notch where she becomes like Michael's everything. And I think, their relationship is, it's kind of like a cute little thing. I would put her in the like it category below Aaron. To me, she doesn't really bring a ton of the show besides completing Michael's arc. I think it's like the whole reason that he leaves the show is because of her. So I think that deserves something. But beyond that, and the moments that they have together in meetings is, interesting and funny. Beyond that, not a ton. So, but I do like her as a character, so I'd put her in the like it category.
Honestly, I agree. I'm not a huge Hallie Flax fan. She's just kind of there. Like, you know, she's not really funny to me, honestly. She's kind of she just shows up and like opens her mouth. And that's like her entire character.
Jesus, Cal.
Gosh, that seems like it don't
Shows
want
up
it.
and yeah, that's a don't want it.
That's not a don't want
Well,
it.
if you think about it this way, if she's a don't want it, she's not in the show, then Michael stays for a few more seasons.
Well,
That's not how that
if
works.
that's if you're talking about like if we're only looking at the show and not real life,
We're living in
sure.
that world.
Okay, if you're living in the office world, sure. But that makes me not like her more if we're thinking about it only in the office world because it went downhill when Michael was gone. So she's the
Wow.
true reason that he's gone.
Wow.
And that makes me not like her more. If we're gonna only focus on the office world.
What about outside the office world?
Outside the office world, obviously she had nothing to do with it. So I don't give her any credit. So I think it's kind of a lose-lose for her, but that's like less of a loss for her.
So I'm hearing take it or leave it.
I'm probably it's hard to say that I like it, but I probably like it below Aaron. She didn't do a
Let's
whole lot for me. I
go.
liked her banner
Let's
with Michael
go.
Scott. That's besides those scenes, because I think they do work well with each other and play off each other well. Any other scene really with like the other characters, I'm like, to me that's take it or leave it. But I think there's most of her stuff is with Michael, and most of that I do like it. So I think I got to put her up there.
So take it or leave it.
Dang,
Or
Kelp,
or like it.
you really don't
Is
like
she
her, huh?
above Clark? Like, let's be real here.
Well, now Kelp's hopping on the Clark bandwagon.
That's what I'm saying, Cal.
The more and more you think about it, Clark is gonna make his way up to love it at a minimum. So
No shot, but fine.
he might.
Dude,
Hayden's
I
got him
just
ahead of David Wallace.
I
So
don't know. This feels wrong to me.
we all know Kelp really has her and don't want it, but
No, I don't have her and don't want it. Take it or leave it below Clark.
All right. No,
But you
no,
know what?
gotta
I'll
put
bite
her
the
in the
bullet.
like it category, Cal.
I don't have to do anything.
All right, Cal. All right.
All
All
right.
right. You're the man in the chair. We adhere to you.
No.
You
We'll
win.
We'll leave her in like it. We'll leave her in like it. The majority rules.
I like it.
This is a democracy, you know.
I respect that.
So
I do.
up next we got freaking Jan.
Batshit
Jan's
crazy
Jan Levinson
Jan's
Gould
woman.
without the Gould anymore. So
no more, twice removed.
yeah,
Absolute lunatic.
great character.
Yeah. She's got some perks. You got
Yeah.
a couple of perks.
A couple.
A couple of perks.
How many's a couple?
Couple of pros.
How many are we talking?
Oh, two.
Oh my god.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's discuss. Ryan, why don't you kick us off, dude? I'm sick of starting, man.
Dude, I'm honestly a big fan. I think the seeing the shift from her being very professional to completely going off the deep end. I think she is one of the few characters that went off the deep end and like it wasn't terrible. Like I actually think it made sense and I still enjoyed it when she was off the rails. So I'll have to sit on it for a little bit longer. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about where to actually rank her, but she's definitely a like it or love it for me.
I absolutely agree. If not a low love it, then a high like it above um what's his face? And and I think yeah, it's one of those things where her collapse into insanity is like watching a train wreck and you can't look away, and it's extremely satisfying. I think one of, if not the best episode of The Office is the episode with the dinner party, and like seeing their dynamic of how dysfunctional of a relationship theirs is hilarious. Like the TV scene, the Dundies, like her trying to sell Jim on the candles. Like all of that is just so funny to me. So I'd probably put her in Love It below Angela. Honestly, I think, and they bring her back in like subtle ways, you know, where she runs her own company and she's a complete psychopath in season 9. And it doesn't tarnish her character in the least. I think it makes sense. Um, and watching her with Michael and just it's just, you know, it's a good time. So yeah, low love it.
Yeah, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that.
That's it, Kelp.
Yeah, man, I don't really have an opinion on the woman, so
Is she a
All
take it
right.
or
Well,
leave it for you?
no, I
yeah.
mean it's just like she's funny. She makes scenes funny. I wouldn't say her character's funny, but you know, moving right along.
All right.
Jim Halpert, dude. Can I say my take before we just jam him up to gotta have it?
Yeah,
Go for it.
Kelp, I feel like is about to bash him hard,
It's not
but
bashing.
Uh,
He's a good character, but he's a little too arrogant and like smug for me to put him in gotta have it. Like I don't like his whole persona that he's like he definitely thinks he's smarter than everybody in the office, and he kind of just
well, he is though.
I mean, yeah, but like you don't like. I feel like he definitely acts like it too, which is kind of like it's like a
I mean,
dick
I don't know
sometimes.
if he is the smartest one. I mean,
He's definitely not.
Dwight beats him in
He's
sales.
he's the most
Like,
charismatic, and he's, you know, he's not really there to work. I think that's like he's like a normal average guy.
and
He's a little bit smug with his
I think
behavior,
yeah,
but
backpacking off Kelp. I think that like he's supposed to be the normal average guy, and I think that's where the smugness rubs me the wrong way. I think if you're gonna portray him like that, I think that needs to be toned down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the arrogance. You know, like
interesting.
he
Like I
def.
just found myself because of that, like in some situations, like rooting for him a little bit less.
No, I agree,
No, totally valid.
and like he's like the pranks with Dwight are definitely funny, and like there are some like comments he makes about other characters that are funny too, but like some of them are just like kind of rude. It's like I don't know if I like that.
Yeah. So here's where I'm at. So his whole role in the office is him and Pam mainly, but mostly him are the ones who are playing off of the documentary crew. So they're the ones like that's like where like the punchline is like something weird happens with Dwight and Michael, and then Jim like looks at the camera, and that's where the laugh is. So I think you have to take that into account when like, you know, thinking about the smugness. Like he's the one breaking the third wall and inviting the audience. Like we're normal people living our lives, witnessing like this crazy work environment. And he's the one like inviting us into that situation. Is he a little bit too smug sometimes? Yes, but I think they balance it well with like showing that he's, you know, he has a heart, and like developing him and Pam's relationship is one of the things that like anchor this show in like a very serious area that other characters aren't able to do. Um Now would I put him in Gotta Have It? I don't know, because I don't think he's as good as Dwight in my opinion. I think
He's
Dwight is
definitely
funnier.
not.
But I'd put him above Creed and Love It. That's where I'd put him.
That's fine with me. I could agree with that because he definitely does bring a lot to the show, but I think the arrogance just kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, he's a very integral part of the show for the points you were saying, Hayden. But yeah, think it's not inconsistent with the smugness and stuff, and he definitely is, one of the most normal, and he can even like be compassionate towards Dwight in scenes when he was like watching Angela and Andy, and he was
Hmm.
comforting him and things like that. So he is like very complete in that way that a lot of these characters aren't because they're just like all for laughs. But
Hmm.
yeah, I just don't think I can put him quite in the same tier as Dwight. I think he'd love it, and above Creed, I'm good with that.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree. That's fine with me.
Nice.
All
Moving
right,
right along.
Kelly Kapoor, the most annoying person on the show, to me at
I
least.
would.
This is a tough one.
I don't think she's the most annoying. Well, okay, maybe the most annoying, but not in an unlikable way.
Right. When there's annoying characters on the show for me, I always have to think about like, is it good annoying or bad annoying? Like, there's definitely different types, and it's like, is the annoying? Are they trying to like make you not like this character, or like what are they going for by making this character annoying? And I think it doesn't make me like dislike the character at all. Like there was some other characters in the show that were extremely annoying that like I just didn't want to listen to them.
Right.
Like, and she's not one of those.
Yeah, I would put her between Aaron and Holly. With all considering all the points that you said. I don't think I think she like her watching her and Ryan's relationship is funny, how like Ryan's totally one foot in, one foot out like the whole time. And she's like this clingy girlfriend. And she's like, this basic like kind of like fashionista basic white girl, or well, she's not even white, but she has that same kind of attitude where she's obsessed with pop culture, and she's playing hard on that trope, and I think it does leave for some good laughs, so I would put her in the like A category. Is this a character I gravitate a lot toward? Absolutely not, but I think she does her job well.
Ryan, you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good spot for her.
What do you think?
I don't really care about her character, so I'll kind of put her anywhere.
Would you like to hear?
She's not terrible. She's not terrible. Some
She
funny
does have
stuff.
some good one-liners.
Some
Like,
funny stuff,
It
but
does.
does she
yes,
really like make me laugh
Or she?
often or anything like that? Not exactly. So, but
Well,
that's how
that's
it
that.
goes. Kevin Malone, love it.
My name
Ooh.
is Kevin Malone.
hi.
um, I would put him
Love it.
above Creed in the love it category because he is the human version of the Cookie Monster. That's all I need to say.
I don't think there's any other spot we really can put him in.
Kevin's chili.
Y-
I like one of the
Yeah,
most iconic scenes.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
Kevin's
very good
Kevin's
one.
chili, dude. Like spilling it all over the office floor and then him scooping it up with like a file folder.
And then
You can't beat that.
and then didn't he like try to get a loan for like an ice cream stand or something? Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Like that
yeah.
was really good. That scene trying to get that loan. I mean, he's
And then
every scene he's in, he's just like he just knocks it out of the park.
dude,
and then the oh yeah, you go, Kelp. You
my
go.
favorite Kevin Malone moment is when like Andy has completely gone off the deep end, and he's like, you remember when he's like adopting all of those like rescue dogs, and and like Andy's like, dude, this is like the best part of my life, and then everybody's like agreeing with him to like nurture him or whatever. And then Kevin goes, "What are you guys talking about? This is horrible. This is the worst thing I have ever seen." That's my favorite scene of Kevin Malone.
It's genius. And there's another bit in when Holly comes into play in the
Oh
office
yes,
where
yeah.
they're trying to get rid of Holly, so they're convincing Holly that Kevin's retarded. And then Kevin, and then he like he's like, why is she being so? He's like, I'm totally gonna bang Holly. Why is she being so nice to me? She feeds me, she gets me things. It's amazing. And then he's like, wait a minute, you think I'm retarded? It's
Do
just
not
so
talk to
great.
him like that.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, dude. Kevin Malone's a great character.
Love it.
Meredith Palmer. This is an interesting one.
Kelp?
This is a tough one.
I don't know. She's
This is a
funny.
tough one.
It's kind of like Angela's character foil, where she just doesn't give like two shits about anything. There's like no judgment on her side whatsoever. She doesn't care what people think about her either, which makes for some funny laughs. Um, I just don't think she gets enough screen time to like put her in like a higher category.
But she did. Her character ran for all 9 seasons, which you have to take into account.
Yeah, that's true. But she usually
She's
like
similar to a Creed.
she didn't have a ton of lines in any of those episodes, though. You know.
We are given like a lot of background information on her, though. We like see her house, we see her son, like a lot of development on her like stripper son. We see like her having an affair. We get more information on her than we get with Creed. Um,
A character
and I
development.
think she is really not. She does not develop. There's a few instances when her and Pam are like sharing a beer in like a bar somewhere and like singing karaoke, and that's like a good moment. But I think that's more for Pam's character than for Meredith's. Um, But I think the sheer amount of laughs and the kind of raunchy energy that she brings to the table, and Michael's just sheer disgust with her, I would put her in between in the like it category, Aaron and Daryl.
Hmm.
I don't know if I like her more than Daryl, or not Daryl, Aaron, but I'm fine with it. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah.
Ryan, what do you think? Did you
Yeah,
put her lower?
like if anything, just like one spot lower. I think that area is really good for her. The energy she brings is very different than any other character, which definitely helps her out. But there's not like many one-liners or anything that like stand out to me that I really loved from her. So I would probably go. I'm good with that spot.
Yeah.
Dude,
What's happening?
I'm getting scammed by the internet here.
We're getting technical difficulties. I'm actually
All right,
very
it's back.
surprised on how much we're like agreeing on. I thought this would take us a lot more.
Not anyone that we've been far off on so far.
So
Like I think
are we
Right.
putting
farthest
Aaron,
off
we
Meredith?
on.
argued about, but
Are
you
we
know,
putting
we
But
can do
Meredith
even then,
below
consensus.
Aaron? Is that what we're doing?
Um, I mean, you don't like her very much, do you, Kelp? So I guess if we're averaging them out, I would put her
I
above, but I think
and
Ryan was like in between putting her above or below Aaron.
and
I like her
Kelp
character better
loves
because she's more
Aaron,
consistent.
so I think
Oh,
Aaron
Yeah,
might have to be above.
okay,
yeah.
that's okay. Well, next we have the goat, Michael Scott. Okay,
This is a
well,
tough
this is a
one.
separate discussion
Oh,
of
this
No,
Dwight
is
and
this is
Michael.
tough.
this is
This is
already
tough.
like we don't even need to talk about
Michael
why he's in
Scott.
gotta
Yeah,
have
no,
it.
we
It's
don't have
really
to.
just like, is
Who's
he above
better?
Dwight?
I don't think there's no show
Uh,
without Michael Scott, which we saw in the last couple seasons, I think.
yeah.
So I mean, it
I
basically the
I
show.
think season 9. Hold on, Kel. Hold on there. I have a little dispute with that because I think season 9, is it anything like the show when Michael Scott was on? No, but I think there is still a story being told that I care about. They are still developing Jim and Pam's character in a funny way, and I think Dwight hard carries that season
No, Dwight
into
definitely.
like it's like a good season. I would put it in like seasons 2 through 5, I think are prime office, but I would put season 9 right underneath those.
Well, I think Dwight definitely carries the back two seasons of this show, and like, yeah, it's still funny and like I laugh a lot, but like, it's not the same without Michael Scott. And
Really
dude,
not.
what the
You're
Kelp
right.
watching this. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, my internet's scamming me, man. It just keeps
You
cutting
gotta
in
get
and
that
out.
LAN connection, Kelp.
I
We're
don't.
gonna
I
have to
don't.
edit this out, Kelp. You're gonna have to do some post production because of that.
Dude,
Production, get
Kelp.
in there.
that responsibility
Get in
can
there,
simply just
Kelp.
not fall on me.
Oh, it does when this happens.
Dude, I
Who does
can't
who
control.
does that fall on?
Dude, let's just blame my roommate.
Was that?
No, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Well,
What'd you say?
Don't worry about it. We'll just disregard that. But again, I think Michael Scott might be above Dwight.
I would have to agree, but you'd have to flip him, Kelp.
I know, but I want to see what Ryan says too.
I just because I think Michael, I think he's just the heart and soul of the show. So as much as I love Dwight, I think Michael's just got to be in front of him.
Yeah, I agree. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, another role where Steve Carell's kind of born to be Michael Scott. And like I don't think there's another person who can execute like his energy on screen and his like level of like laughing at his own jokes, like thinking he's actually funny looking at the cameras. Like he's doing so much at once and he is like the heartbeat of the show. And for that reason, yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Dude, is
Um
there an argument about this one? Like, can I just put her in the category? Like, she's bottom of
let's
the
see where
barrel,
you put
bro.
her. Let's see where you put her. Let's see where you
Bottom
put it,
of
Cal.
the fucking
Goes
barrel,
to
man.
love it.
Dude,
Bottom of the barrel.
what?
No, don't start. Don't start. There's no
No,
way.
that is
Hell,
highly controversial.
That is not controversial. She's the
Cal,
worst character to ever grace the screen.
Cal.
Whoa, kill.
You're telling me she's worse than Clark, bro?
Dude, there was no reason for her to
Dude,
be in
you
the
got Clark
show.
above David Wallace.
I did.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't count, man. Why was she even in the show? What was the point of her?
It went off the rails, Kel.
Exactly. No point of her being in the show. None. Absolutely none.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
agree.
I was just messing. I have no
Yeah,
argument.
I have
Hayden.
no argument.
Oh, okay.
No.
We all agree.
Yeah. I just don't think she's very funny, and she's all over the place.
All over the place, not funny. I don't find myself intrigued by her, wanting to hear what she has to say.
She's another season 8 storyline, and she's like a funny comedian in real life, but it's another season 8 storyline that goes nowhere, and I don't want it.
It was a mess with her, like running the company, and then just like the fallout. I mean, it's all over the place, truly, and her
Yeah.
character is right along there with the plot.
And somehow the writing of the show kicks up a notch, and they kind of have a redemption arc for her, but it's still like, why do I care about this
I think
character in
at
the
that
first
point, yeah,
place?
it's just way too late.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah, no, she's the worst. She's just the worst. There's no other way for me to say it. She's the worst.
I love
Alright.
it, Kel.
Should we just move right
What
along?
do we got next, Kel?
Yeah, I think
Oscar
that's good.
Martinez.
Oscar Martinez.
He's probably gonna fall somewhere in the like it category for me.
I think. Yeah, I would agree. I would put him in between probably in between David Wallace and Andy, maybe a little bit lower.
Go one lower.
I would say a little
I think I
lower,
like
too,
Andy.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think I
You're
like
right.
Andy better, but I mean, really solid character. I think again, one of the personalities that contradicts so many in the show. He's a very regular guy, and I
Yeah.
think I think he plays it extremely well and has a lot of great moments. So
Very straight laced, just the smug gay Mexican, if you will.
As Jim Halpert would say, yeah. I agree. Moving right
Pam
along.
Beasley.
Pam Beasley / Halpert. Dude, I think she's above Jim for me. I think she's funnier than Jim. And she's not smart, like not arrogant, which was my main gripe with Jim.
okay. I think this is Hayden's being real this time.
Bro, I am absolutely being real. Above Jim? Are you kidding me? The only reason I care about Pam is because of Jim.
I don't
It's not
think
even a
that's
question.
true. That's not. I
It's
think
not it's
that's
not
pretty.
true. She has a cool storyline. She has a cool friendship with Dwight. She has interesting moments with Roy. Her and Michael's relationship, but she's just a nice presence on the show. She's nothing more than that. I would
But
put her above I would put her above Andy. Like it.
oh my god, that's so bad. That's so bad, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just
What?
she doesn't no, dude, she just doesn't do it for me. I like Pam. I think she's nice. But is she like a pivotal character?
Yes,
Like
she is.
Jim? Like freaking Kevin Malone? You
Dude,
would put
there,
her
dude.
above Kevin?
There's no Jim without Pam.
I mean, you could vice versa is true, Kelp.
Eh,
It's and I would say
Jim,
it's the other way around. It's
I would
God,
agree it's the other way around.
No, it's definitely not. If
Kelp.
What was
Pam, if
You
Jim
Pam,
think Pam's the
before they were
lead? You
together?
think
Jim was
first
still like
Jim's the main
great.
character?
He was great.
Jim moved away because of her, because she was marrying
Right,
The
but
main
that
Roy.
was
He's
that was
gone.
like season 3 or something,
that
late
was
season
way more
2.
interesting and memorable to me than when Pam left for art school. And that shows that Jim can carry his own, but Pam can't.
Dude, Pam leaving for art school is not the
Yeah,
same as.
the art school stuff didn't really do it
It's
for me.
similar.
Wait, so
It's
Kelp,
similar
you
because
you
they're
have
both
you have her top love it.
Yeah, I think she's a better
Jim,
character than Jim.
wow. I'm gonna have to bridge this gap. I'm I'm
bro,
definitely
better
in the
than Jim,
middle.
dude.
I'm
You heard it here first. Better than
definitely
Jim.
in the middle. Probably more towards Hayden's side. Yeah, I would prefer Jim, Creed, Kevin at a minimum.
Dude, there's no
That's
way, man. Like, Jim is just.
what it
She's
she's
just too quiet. She doesn't have enough. She doesn't show enough personality
I
early
don't think
on.
that's
Ninth
true.
season, ninth season Pam is the best Pam. I would say that. But other than that, she's just quiet. She's just shy. And
laughs I
Jim
get from
has to
Creed
make
and
every
Kevin.
move. Jim's making every decision of the relationship. Pam makes a move once, but he's in a relationship with Karen.
Yeah, but
And we care
what's.
about that relationship more than I don't know.
I
I
just.
I would be okay gravitating towards Ryan's put her in the love it category.
I don't
Maybe
even
I was
know
a
if
little
I'm
bit
there
too
though.
harsh,
That's
but I
like
would yeah.
I still have to think about this. She's not guaranteed love it for me, but
Should
she
we
just
should we should we just put her there and come back to her at the end?
We gotta hash this out. We gotta hash it out.
okay. Kelp.
Here's Kelp, you
So
go first.
we're just gonna no. Hold on.
Okay.
No, with both of us out on Pam, you're not getting her above Creed. So what is your argument for uh Angela and Jan?
Is well, first she's a way more pivotal part of the show than Angela or Jan.
I mean, they can't control that though. I mean, Creed
Yeah.
isn't a big part of the show. So
Yeah, and neither is Kevin.
right, and they're still
And
in love it.
she,
So I'm not gonna
yeah,
give Pam bonus points for that. I think she whiffs on a
okay,
lot more scenes than them.
that's a fair argument, but I think her character is better than Jim's. I would rather have her on screen than Jim because she is
Well,
not.
you're not getting Jim. So you can argue
Okay, but
he passed below Creed. That's what you can try
I
to
can
argue.
argue.
You
But
can
if I,
try to sway me. You have a chance to get her into love it. It is up to
dude,
you to do it.
she is her character is funny. Like, she has a
Is
great
she?
relationship with Michael and Dwight. I think she's funny.
Is she funny?
Sometimes she's not.
The jokes aren't coming from Pam.
The
They're just
jokes
not.
are what
Relatability is coming from Pam because she
very
goes through a
relatable.
lot throughout the show and you see a lot of character development. But the jokes are not there. The personality's
No,
not
it's not
there.
even the. It's not like her jokes. It's more like her side comments. Like if she's talking to somebody, it's like especially Angela.
Give
There's a
us
lot
some
of
examples, Cal.
like there's some like scenes. One scene that comes to mind is like Angela and her talking out in the hallway because Dwight just killed Angela's cat, and she's like, maybe you should just try talking to him or something like that. And then Angela goes, Pam, I am not like you, wearing my provocative outfits and like basically insulting her to her face. And Pam just goes, Yeah, that's me. And I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was a funny
Well,
scene.
so what you're describing is that Pam is a foil to Angela, which I absolutely agree with. She's like they're very contrasting personalities and character types. But like as far as like I would just be inclined to put them next to each other, maybe even below Angela because she doesn't bring that spice and flair.
But isn't that the point of her character? Is to be
Well,
normal and
absolutely, but I think Jim has all these side things going on, like the pranks with Dwight, the relationships outside of the office. And you see like a lot of funny moments coming from him, and him looking at the camera happens way more often than Pam looking at the camera. So I would say that he's bridging the gap with the audience more than Pam is. Although Pam still has that relatability, but other than that, just not bringing a whole lot. The early seasons, she's just like too scared to do anything. And then you see her come out of her shell a little bit in season 3, and then nothing happens with Pam from seasons 4 or 5 when she gets married to seasons 9 where she's, married with Jim and they're making life decisions. Which season 9 is a very exciting time for Pam. You get that cool scene with her arguing with Jim on the phone. You have the sound guy like trying to get with Pam on the side, and she has to make a lot of decisions, and that's where I see her character flourish the most. But other than that, like the earlier seasons, she's not out of her shell yet.
I don't. I mean, but that's kind of her whole like shtick, though.
Right, but that's not a convincing enough shtick to put her above, Jim, Kevin, Creed, Angela, in my opinion. Just
I
like
mean, I
being normal and average, because Jim's normal and average, but Jim's still like the funny guy, or like the smug guy, or like.
but Jim's not funny unless he's pranking Dwight for the most part.
I think him having bits with Michael and Michael eating it up is still funny. Um,
Yeah.
I think him pranking Andy is funny.
That's true.
Like
I mean, I guess his
he
Yeah,
pranking is
messes with
Jim.
other characters in
Yeah,
the office besides
Jim
just Dwight.
interacts very well with many characters. Where I don't think Pam. There's many characters that have
Besides Jim and
much with
Dwight,
her.
like and Angela, you don't really see a whole lot.
I
dude.
mean, yeah, there's some good stuff with Michael in there too, and like a lot of that is like really funny. A lot of her a lot of the scenes that I like laugh a lot like with her though are just like either Angela or Michael like making or sometimes even Dwight just making like some ridiculous statement and then her being like innocent shy Pam like some other comment like what did you say after Angela said like I don't wear provocative outfits like you like yeah that's me like she always just has a little comment like that after these other characters say something ridiculous to her especially like Michael and to me that's like a lot more Michael than it is her. And so that's where it's like she definitely does her job like as well as you can, but to me that's not I don't like that as much for like the characters that are currently in Love It, they just have too much going on and too much going for them where that stable shy character that she is, I can't put above.
You can't put her above Jan.
I'm a big Jan fan.
I
My
think Jan's
God.
Jan's the catalyst for a lot of the craziness and hilarity that happens, and Pam's just a neutralizer. And you need a neutralizer, but it's the easiest part to be the neutralizer. Like
And considering like
Paulie's a
her
neutralizer.
craziness like actually working is like that's a big deal for me because
Yeah.
half of these characters go off the
So
rails and it just does not work.
so she's love it after Jan. That's where we're putting her.
I would do that.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
So we're
I
just
mean,
all right. Well,
I can compromise and stick her in the love it,
we're
but
gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. Just let us know in the comments, guys, what you think about Pam because
yeah, Pam or Jim.
that's kind of
Yeah.
ridiculous to me. But we'll move past it
And
because
and
we've got
and
other characters.
Clark.
No,
Let us know what you think about Clark too.
Clark belongs in the bottom. He belongs in the bottom.
No, I think it's like a cycle, like Clark over this character, but this character's over that character, and it's
Clark's rock. Nothing beats rock.
yeah,
Clark's like rock paper scissors gun.
well, Clark's ahead of this fool.
Plop?
Yeah, Clark's ahead of that fool.
Hard don't
Dude,
want it.
that's Mr. Steal Your Girl, bro.
Hard
Hard
don't want it. I would
hard
put
don't want
him
it.
take it or
Nah,
leave
dude,
it.
he
I
ain't
think
even take it. Why do I care about this character?
because he steals Aaron
Yeah,
from
I'd put him in
Andy.
don't want it. I think you're right.
You're
I think you're right.
Hayden, you just switched that easily.
I
Why
mean,
do I care about this character?
I thought about it. It's what do you think, Cal? What do you think? Let's hear
Dude,
your.
I think I don't know. He doesn't have a ton of lines. There's nothing like crazy he does, but he definitely steals Aaron right from under Andy, which I think is kind of funny.
I don't care.
And that
It's
creates some funny scenes in
Clark.
season
Clark is
9.
But he
exponentially better
doesn't
than
really
him.
even steal her. He's just like the guy to like catch her when Andy's doing something else and like chasing his dreams. And they
Like,
don't really even interact in a meaningful way. Like him and Andy is just like he's just kind of there, and like he's like, yeah, I guess I'm in a documentary now. Like I guess all my friends call me Plop, and he has like that moment, but like it's like you can take it or leave it that moment, and without that moment, it's like don't want it.
he does
You
not
know,
deserve
like
to be in the same tier as Clark. I
I
can't do
just
that to Clark.
rather have more
Stop.
Clark.
I'm no Clark,
I
big
just
fan, but
rather have
like,
more Clark in the at the end of the day.
dude,
All
this
right.
character could have
Well,
been
he's definitely
completely
above
removed from the show. He,
definitely above
I,
Melly, right? Like we can
this,
agree on that.
I'm
yeah,
fine with that.
yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Like, I didn't hate when he was on screen as much as I did when she was on screen, but like, I just have no reason to care about this character. There's nothing.
All right, Robert California. Let me first say this: James Spader
You're in the
is
home stretch.
James Spader's hilarious, and he does his job so well. And I think Robert California is fucking hilarious on this show. And I would put him in the like it category at the very least.
I would concur. I would agree with that. I think he's such a unique character where he's like this psychopath, like does whatever he wants. He walks in and like gets what job he wants and like can convince anybody of everything of anything. And he contrasts. I think he's one of the saving graces of season 8 because you get all these really stupid kind of like interactions and characters just like living their life. And then you get this guy having these conversations of like mortality and like inviting them over to his mansion and he like skinny dips in front of everybody. And I think those moments are actually really well done. Because he's only had one season though, I don't think he's a significant enough character to put him in high like it. Probably put him somewhere in the middle. I'd be interested to see what you have to say though, Ryan.
I mean, a lot of his jokes and stuff are like really good and definitely did pull up that season from the mess that it was. But some of it was just like almost too weird for me. Like it was just like I don't know if they were just. I mean, I think they're trying to get like some Michael effect in there, and they definitely wanted to mix it up and not feel like it's the same. But they're the way, and it's not the way that the actor delivers, but just the delivery between him and Michael Scott, the characters, is nowhere close to like the same for me. So, like,
Michael Scott's Michael Scott, like
right,
you can't really compare him to Michael Scott.
I know, but he's
I
like
mean,
I
you
would.
can because he's getting the similar like oh my god reaction out of people. And he's making things happen in a crazy way. So in that way, he is like and he's the boss figure,
Like, the
right? So
difference between, like, after his jokes versus Michael, it's just, like I just feel
holy
like
shit.
I feel like I'm just starstruck after he talks versus, like, Michael,
You're
like,
right.
I can, like, actually, like, laugh about it.
But okay, you're telling me I kind of liked it though, and that might be just like a preference of like
Well,
humor thing, but it was
and
like
I think
whole like they're
sometimes I
going for
really did
this
like
right
it.
now, like with the Halloween episode where he's like, and baby grabs mother's neck and he grips her around the throat and he says, "Get my milk, bitch," or whatever. It's like, what the like they
It's
put
like,
that in an
"What?"
episode of The Office. Like, I think that just shock value, but I tend to gravitate towards shock value a little bit more. I think that, like, it's just like, wow, like, it's just ambitious writing to me to like, and it is a little bit off color for sure, considering like the tone of The Office,
Mhm.
but I liked it. I thought it was new. I thought it was at least like interesting in a way that like hadn't been done before. Like with
Certainly
Andy's
unique.
character, they just try to like make him Michael Scott, and
Mhm.
it like not completely, but kind of. You know what
No,
I
yeah.
mean? And his character was a little bit more unique. So I'd probably think where I'd put him.
I liked his character more than Aaron's.
Oh, really?
I would probably agree with that. I would probably agree with that, Kelp. Where do you think you'd put him?
I might put him above Daryl too, honestly.
I
I would put him above. That's tough. I would either put him below Daryl or above Daryl. I would put him right in there.
the only thought that I had so far was below Oscar. I think,
Okay.
above Daryl, below Daryl, I could do either. But
I would maybe do below Daryl just because Daryl's, we see him for the whole show and he works for the whole show.
okay,
That's
Besides
fair.
the last few seasons. And
I'm
we
good
only
with
get
that.
Robert California in season 8.
I'm good with that.
Alrighty. We
Home
have,
stretch.
yeah, we've got Ryan Howard.
We got some interesting characters left.
And we might disagree about a few of these. I feel like this one we might disagree about the most.
Really?
I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say. But oh man.
Did I
And
kind
this is
I liked his character because he kind of just like he has so many different phases he goes through where he's just like one guy, then the
yes,
next
Kelp.
season he's a different guy, which I think is kind of
Yes, I
funny.
liked it. I liked it a lot, and I would put him in a love it below Pam. Um, maybe high like it. I think you're spot on with that, Kelp. I think he has like all of these different personalities. He has the temp in the first 2 seasons. He has the bowling alley phase. He has the Michael Scott Paper Company phase. He has like he's like visiting Taiwan and like Kelly Kapoor phase where he's like in and out of a
Jeez.
relationship. Um and then he has like the woof.com where he thinks he's like an internet guru. Oh, and he's like the bot, right? He gets promoted
Mhm.
to like head of the corporate company, like the youngest VP in the history of the company, and he's just like an arrogant asshole.
Really
And
liked those scenes where he's the boss.
um and and then you have like the woof.com thing where he's like a Mark Zuckerberg kind of like startup guy, and I think that's really funny. And like it's funny in like the late seasons, which I think is like pretty hard. And then later on he's just like, and they kind of, I don't really know how I feel about like ending. They kind of end Ryan's character arc right where it started in season 1, where you see him being the most immature in the late seasons, where he's like leaving a baby unattended and like running off with Kelly. So it just kind of like restarts all of his progress that he's made over the course of these 9 seasons. And I don't love that. So I'd probably leave him in. I don't think I can put him in love it. I'd probably have to go somewhere in the like it category.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just taking into account how they end his arc. But he is one of those characters where his arc doesn't really matter to me as much because he changes so much and it is a little bit nonsensical because he is the guy that just kind of like fills in wherever, but it still works wherever he fills in. And I think there's some redemption in that. And I'm going back and forth on this one.
And I think
Um,
his character changes actually make sense, and they don't just feel like completely forced, like some of these other characters, especially once we get to the later seasons. So I can appreciate that. I'm leaning towards probably high like it, like maybe at the top,
Like the very first spot.
yeah,
like maybe the
yeah,
very top of like it.
I think
That's
so.
that's a fair assessment.
I feel like I could go back and forth with him, Wallace, and Andy, honestly. Like those
Mhm.
three, I feel like are very,
Yeah, I
very
feel
close
like
together.
if we were to like argue one or the other, we would just go in circles for a while.
Yeah, like I almost feel
So
like those three could have like their own tier in between like it and love it. Like I think
Yeah.
they're kind of like in their own league compared to the rest of the like it tier.
I think so because they're not really. I mean, Andy, he's not really a side character later on. Ryan, he's like one of the best side characters, and they put a lot of focus onto him. And then David Wallace is like the funniest contrasting character in the show. And he has a lot of good moments.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is a good spot for him.
I
Definitely.
agree.
Stanley Hudson. What
Stanley Hudson,
initial thoughts?
bro. In a word, in a word, yes,
One word. Just
yes,
yes.
yes, please.
That's
Gotta have it,
that's
baby. Let's go.
yes, 3 words.
Let's go.
Gotta
Above
have it,
Dwight.
There's no way I'm putting him in gotta have it.
Why not, dude?
huh?
Look at him.
I cannot put him in
Dude,
gotta
this
have
guy's
it.
a brick, man. He just sits there all day.
Stanley
I wish
Hudson.
we got more Stanley. I don't think we got enough of him.
I know he's great, dude.
I think
Especially with Michael, he's
yeah, I think
amazing.
he's one of the characters like Creed. How much more you give to him, I'm like, would he be as effective? I think Stanley for sure would still have been as effective if you gave him a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
And every episode where they give Stanley just a little bit more juice, like hits.
great,
Like you see
yes.
him going on a sales call with Dwight, and Dwight hits him like with like a sleep dart and has to like roll him down the stairs.
Well, it was multiple
Like
French
that is
darts because he's.
comedy gold.
Oh, and your boy
And
Clark was in
then
that episode too. Can't forget Clark.
The
I love Clark.
Stanley yelling at Ryan,
Stanley
great.
yelling at Ryan, great. You see
Yelling at
Michael
Michael.
yelling at Michael
I mean,
for coming over to his desk and looking. He's like, "Oh, I love Stanley's calendar. Like, gets me going, gets me feeling good every day. That is my daughter. She goes to Catholic school."
I like Florida Stanley too. I think he's pretty funny in that. Like when he takes that little
I was
business
just about
trip.
to say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You see another side of Stanley with the Florida side. He's cutting loose. He's having fun, and you have. It's funny because you have Jim, one of the craziest characters in The Office. One of the most like outgoing and maybe like lives a little bit more on the edge than some of the other characters who you think are like just 9 to 5 type of people. And then in Florida, you have Stanley like getting Jim on his heels about like all the crazy stuff that Stanley might do, and he's saying like hi to girls, and like Jim's driving him around, and I think that's a pretty clever moment.
So what are we thinking placement wise here?
Probably above Dwight. Yeah, he's good.
Dude, I
He's a
might
good
have to ban
character.
you from my Discord for that.
wait, you actually want him above Dwight?
No, I don't. I'd
Oh,
probably
okay.
put him.
Yeah, where do you actually have him? I'm
You see
curious.
right through my crap.
Yeah, I do. I
Um,
just read it every time.
where is okay? I would put him. I would
Gosh,
put him
this is
above
tough.
Oscar. I would put him above Oscar, below Andy.
I think I can get behind that.
Yeah, I'm really struggling where to put him because I mean, he just like you said, he just hits a home run every time, but there's just really not a lot there. I feel like, but so I'm good with
Yeah.
that spot. I'm struggling a little bit.
You just get like a few moments with him. You get like donut day or whatever,
It's
or
pretzel day.
bagel day, whatever.
Impressive.
Pretzel day. That's what it is.
Right.
And you get the moments that we named, and I think he's one of the best supporting characters, and the funniest supporting characters.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can put him above Andy.
Yeah.
All right, last one.
Who else to end off
Toby.
with?
Dude, Toby's
Toe
great.
Buskus.
Toby's great, man. He's a little bit.
Toby.
He goes a little bit off the rails towards the end of the show, but I think Toby's great.
I would
Wow.
agree, Kelp. I just don't know. I would put him above Pam, I think. Like off of my first instinct, I would put him above Pam, below Jan.
Wow.
And
That's
he
pretty
doesn't
high.
do a ton.
That is
Like
very
that's
high.
that's like the mystical nature of Toby is like he's just a guy who sounds like kind of annoying and has like an annoying face.
He's also
But I
kind of a
think
weirdo.
he is a
He is a
weirdo.
little bit of weirdo, bro. Like the whole thing with
Like low key.
when he was like doing the Movember thing and he's like goes up to a boy and his mom, he's like, smile if you love men's prostates. Like that's a little pedophilia to me. You know?
I love it though. Like I think it's I think it's perfect for Toby, you know, and Michael, just the sheer disgust. You know, you see Toby coming back and he's like, no, no, God, no, no. It's comedy gold. And is Michael creating that scene? Absolutely. But I just like it. I don't know. I just low love it maybe.
I think he's
I
very
can see the low
similar.
love it, but
Yeah, he's very similar to Pam in a lot of the jokes. In the funny moments with him are like reactions to what other people are saying to him, and like almost every time Michael, obviously. Like low
The
love it
nature of
would
the
be.
reaction's a little bit different, but you're exactly right with like the nature of their character. Like
Mhm.
they're still serving the same purpose, and that they're like just like either like disappointed or shy or like just. But I think Toby's just like he wants to be liked so badly, but he doesn't have any of the tools to like even like have a normal conversation with someone, so he just like backs out. Or like Michael's flipping out, he's like, "Come on, Michael, you know you can't do that, Michael. Come on." Michael, come on. Like, I think
When
that shit is so funny, dude. Like,
when Jim and Pam are trying to like fill out the paper for like an official relationship, and he's like, we'll just wait. Like,
yeah,
we'll
because he
just
likes Pam,
yeah
right?
yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
you know what? Just wait.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my. And he's a little bit deluded within his own world. And the whole like Toby Flenderson novel, and then like the
The court
um
trial, like he's just
court trial.
he ate that up where everyone's interested in him now, and he's like getting to
Yeah.
tell his. I
yeah.
think I'll go with low love it.
Well, and dude, when
I'm okay.
Okay,
he
I'm with
gets
that.
dude, he gets his neck broken on like two separate occasions in the show too. Like he's like skydiving in Costa Rica because first he leaves to go to Costa Rica because he gropes Jim Halpert's wife in front of the entire office, and he just runs away. And then he gets strangled in the prison by the
Wait,
Strand Strangler.
he gropes Pam?
Dude, he like puts his hand on her thigh, like what when they're like
Yeah,
staying late that one day. You don't remember that?
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I remember now.
Hey,
Yeah,
by the way, guys, please rate Hayden's Toby impression. I thought that was pretty good, but let
thank
us
you,
know in the
Kelp.
chat what you guys think. That was pretty solid in my opinion.
Thanks, buddy.
Um, so low love it. I definitely can get behind that. I'm a little confused on where we're gonna be putting him like
Just
character wise though.
bottom love
You
it.
know, like literally the bottom slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think bottom love it. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
and that does it.
Yeah, so that guys, that rounds out our tier list for the office characters. Please feel free to leave your personal like thoughts in the comments. Like we love reading the comments. Every comment we get, we definitely look over and
Why as
we try to
well.
write back to you guys too. So please leave comments, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I know we loved making this video. We're all big Office fans here. You guys would be surprised at how much Office like memorabilia I have in my room. So
We
yeah,
love it,
so
man. We love it.
that's gonna do it. Thank you guys for coming out and stay tuned for our next video.